Welcome back to the Range Rover Autobiography. Now, I've had this car for a couple of weeks. It's approaching just over 500 miles, and it's time to give the car a bit of TLC. As they say in Game of Thrones, winter is coming, and I need to get this thing prepped so its lovely paint is sealed within a protective barrier of paint protection film. Now, the green on this car is a special option that Range Rover have introduced called Ultra Metallic Green. It's similar to British Racing Green, but with a much heavier fleck in it. It's actually really beautiful when the sun's shining, and remarkably, it's October and the sun is shining. So it's time to give this thing a clean, some TLC. We're going to check out the paintwork and give it some correction, and then we're going to wrap this thing. And as always, we're heading to Signature Group to make sure the job gets done right. So without further ado, let's head over there, give this thing some TLC. Welcome back to Signature Group. It's been a while since we've been here. It's always good to revisit these guys and see what they've got inside. First of all, let's go check out the paintwork on this. It's having clay bar applied now since it's been decontaminated and washed down. Let's check out this paint, which is essentially factory fresh. I haven't done anything to this car since I've had it, driven it a few hundred miles. So we're going to inspect the paint, see what's up. Car's inside. We've got this Scan Grip match. It's basically the brightest light you'll ever see in your life. It's sort of here to kind of replicate the sun's light so that you can see the paint in its truest form and identify any scratches. Before we've even gone around with this, Tom and team at Signature put all of these blue stickers on the car. So anytime you see a blue sticker, that's basically where there's been a scratch, something's happened to it. Even though I have driven this car for just over 500 miles now, this hasn't been touched. It's come straight from factory, and I've been fairly careful with it, and the use so far has been pretty light. So what you're seeing here is scratches that have almost certainly happened before we've even touched this car, and it's unlikely to have happened on the road. So brace yourself for this thing. It is crazy bright. I mean, straight away here, you can see these swirls. If we look on the bonnet, this paint is so nice, but all of these swirls and scratches here are exactly the kind of thing that we're going to be able to get out with buffing these panels. And of course, the idea of paint protection film is that once you've got the paint to perfect, you're then essentially sort of sealing it and preserving it, so that even after PPF has been applied and the car gets filthy, once you wash it and clean it, in theory, it'll be the perfect preserved paint which will be shining through from underneath PPF. Mostly swirls, nothing too heavy. Look at that. Look at that mark there. I don't know if that's a buff mark from factory, maybe. But all of that swirling area, this is exactly the kind of thing that needs sorting out before applying paint protection film. Otherwise, there's kind of no point in doing it. So yes, prep the car first, get it looking fantastic. I think the whole buff job and paint prep on this is probably going to take an entire day. What you'll see in this video is essentially a condensed worth of about 5 days work. Let's do it. Day 3. I know this seems like it should be day 2, but I didn't film the guys at Signature doing anything at all yesterday because they were buffing and paint correcting every single panel. The buffing sequence that you just saw, kind of once you've seen one panel, you've seen them all. So, but it is an example of just how long this process takes, particularly on a big car like a Range Rover. But that process would have taken place throughout the entirety of yesterday. But the whole point of this is you're effectively preserving, like shrink wrapping the body of the car in paint protection protection film, so there's no point in sort of over wrapping dirty paint or scratch paintwork. You're only going to be sealing in defects. Also, if you don't get the paint surface super perfect, you're increasing the risk tenfold of the edges of the paint protection film peeling back, which is not what you want after 6 months of driving the car. The edges lift, you get dirt and grime under it. So preparation is almost, in fact, more important than the actual application of the film itself. So yeah, basically that day would have been really long-winded and drawn out, just very labor-intensive process, but it does give you an insight into just how much work goes into PPFing a car. Anyway, heading back now, day 3, let's see what they're up to, and maybe we'll be applying some PPF today. Alright, we're back at Signature. It's already looking super polished. Check it out. We have conveniently left a spot on the fuel cap, which I'll show you in a minute, which is an example of how the paint was quite flat and muted in comparison. There's like a line down it. So yeah, it's looking good. Like even now, I'm not sure how much it's coming through on camera, but right now it is sparkling. We haven't even finished yet. The cool thing about coming back to Signature on a different day is that every day they've got something new in. Case in point, this Bentayga. Now, do you know what? If you watch this channel regularly, you'll know that I always go on about how I'm not a fan of the aesthetics of a Bentayga. But this one, this is looking really good. Check it out. Now, of course, on this car, there's loads of intricate panels. This has got a lot of upgraded carbon panels, and you can see here the information for custom templates that Signature are applying here. Oftentimes, car brands are launching new cars day in, day out, and so it's very hard to keep up with templates. So Signature have this plotting system where they can plot exactly, like, so this is like headlights, and so the idea is, rather than just using the off-the-shelf template, they're able to completely customize. I mean, look at all of this. Loads of carbon here. Intricate details. Yeah, there is no sort of off-the-shelf templates for lots of components. So the important thing is, and where a lot of work goes into, is being able to bespoke create pieces of paint protection film for cars like that. All right, as far as cleaning and detailing goes, Range Rover's looking pretty pristine. While we're here, S1's being cleaned up. I'm not sure if you follow this channel regularly, but you'll remember last time that was here, we were having a ceramic coating on it, which is an alternative to PPF that Signature do. Next stage, we're looking at the custom bespoke panels, which we need to plot to make sure they fit. Areas like this. These are the more intricate panels which don't come standard on the plotter. And one area which sometimes people forget about, as obvious as it might seem, is door handles. Now, you interact with the door handle pretty much every time you go near the car. There's things like rings going on there, key rings, just things when you're opening up the doors. These are areas that, looking on previous cars that I've owned, get absolutely hammered. And so it's now up to us to go around and just see what's already on the plotter and what needs to be cut out to make it bespoke fit. Day 4, back at Signature. As I mentioned, every time you come here, there's something new, but nothing as cool as this lately. Check this out, Gen 2 991 GT3. I have a mild obsession with these right now. This one is rocking out an iridescent Miami blue, and it has pretty much all the options, even these fancy upgraded headlights, which look fantastic. I'm not sure if you can really tell on the picture, but the upgraded LED lights have a sort of black backing to them and make for an extra nice contrast. Carbon ceramic brakes, even has the 918 style seats, which you can see here. The only problem with those is they don't fold. Porsche do offer an option to have a folding bucket, so you can make the most of all the space in the back. Yeah, I'm dying. I still haven't managed to get behind the wheel of one of these yet, but soon. Anyway, we're here for this thing.
Me
on the ramps. If you're wondering why it's on the ramps, it's basically so the guys who are working here can access lower areas like this easier. We're actually applying the next generation of a PPF film. I'm not sure if you can tell, and this is the whole idea, but this panel has been done, this panel hasn't. The next gen basically reduces the orange peel effect that you get on the surface here. So as you can tell, if you check out this lit area here, you're not getting those sort of curls in the paint that you did do with the last gen. In fact, if I go between this panel and this panel, they're pretty much identical. So this latest gen is looking really, really good. I've also been told by the guys that work here it applies much easier. Well, it's amazing how fast this stuff improves. It's been about 12 months since I had the RS6 done, and in that time, we're on to the next gen of PPF. So very cool. All right, day 5, fifth and final day. Moving on to the interior and some really bespoke bits which I was talking about. This is a case in point. Kick sills, they rarely get any treatment. As the name suggests, there's a lot of interaction with these things getting in and out of the cars. They always get scratched to hell. And so what we're doing is making a bespoke custom template to go on there to make sure that these things stand the test of time. And then, believe it or not, basically the whole car's done. So today's the day, finally going to be able to roll out in the Range Rover. The Range Rover has been restored to its full potential. The paint is looking crisp. It's nice. I didn't realise just how dull it was until it's been fully restored. All of the scratches have been pulled out, and there was this sort of hazy film over it that was in the clear coat that just didn't allow this green to pop through, and now it's looking awesome. And on top of that, I feel good because it's protected. It's shrouded in this indecipherable layer of paint protection film. Do not underestimate how much time and skill is required in both restoring the paint and the application of paint protection film. It takes forever, and it's a very skillful, time-consuming process. As always, Signature Group have gone over and above. Not only is the job on the outside fantastic, but on the inside, they've also applied a sort of surface sealant. So if you spill any drinks on it or you get any gene stain on it, the idea is that any stains sit on this sealant, and then when you come to wipe it off, it just kind of wipes away with ease. Perfect for a daily like this because they do get beat. And of course, we're also going into winter now. So for the next few months, the exterior of this car is going to get nothing but battered, and I feel good that the paint is now protective in this next generation of paint protection film, which is definitely working. I can see that it's a more clear application. The paint is really shining through. I'm happy. I'm really, really happy. Anyway, guys, we're going to be having more adventures with the Range Rover soon. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Ciao.